Hey everyone, today we're diving into Skool.com, a unique platform designed for creating and managing online communities. And in this video, I will analyze the top 1000 communities on Skool, focusing on their titles, member counts, description, and subscription prices. Let's see what makes these communities stand out and how they're monetizing their value. It's important to note that today is August 8th, 2024, because the ranking of these communities and their member count and price could change from day to day. Last week ago, the Adonis gang was only ranked 3rd place. And when you go to the discovery page of Skool.com, you see 30 communities, and they're ranked by an algorithm that looks at member growth, member activity, posts, comments, and likes. And the more engaged the community is, the higher they're ranked. And you find 34 pages, which means there's data available for the top 1000 communities. And I used web scraping to get all of the information from these little tiles. So let's jump into the analysis. So this is how it looks after the initial web scraping. I have the ranking, the community name, the meta information, and the description, as well as the background image URL. And the first thing I'm interested in, out of the top 1000, how many are private and public, and how many are free versus paid. And then sometimes they give the specific monthly subscription fee. So first I split the meta column that holds multiple information into 3 separate columns. The privacy one holds private versus public. And then there's access, where I grouped all these different prices into just paid with US dollar information. And the first thing we learn when we look at the code and the result is that within the top 1000 communities, only 69 are public, which means that everyone can see the classrooms and the comments and the posts, even when you're not part of this group. So the top 1000 is a bit more exclusive and private in setting. Then you see that 42% explicitly state how much you would pay to enter this group. And it also means that they use the payment model from Skool.com. When it's free or paid without a specific USD value, it means that they either use their own payment processing or they're actually free, and then you might pay for some courses within the group, or you're only allowed in once your email went through a different payment processor. So now let's check which community has the most members and how many members they have on average. We can sort them by members N and see that the Max Business School is number 1 with over 161,000 members. It's also one of the rare public and free communities. And then you have some over 25,000, mostly free communities or only $1 per month. You have 57 that are above 10,000, and then at the bottom you have some that are less than 100. So let's focus on the top 10 quickly. As I said, the number of members is not the main criteria by how this ranking is done. It also matters how engaged they are. There are 2 communities from Skool.com, currently placed 3rd and 4th place based on the members count. The Skool community is only for people that started their own Skool community, so they pay $99 per month to use the services of Skool.com. Here is place 5 to 10 member count wise. So if you want to learn how to jump higher and dunk, you would be amongst 56,200 other members. But these 10 are exceptions. So what we could do is group by these different access types, free, paid, and paid with US dollar disclosed, and calculate the minimum, maximum, and averages and quartiles to see that the free communities within the top 1000, which there are 459, have a median of 1400, which means half of them are below and half of them are above. The average is highly influenced by these outlier maxima. So when you're a paid community, you tend to have fewer members, and around 400 members brings you into the top 75th percentile. We can turn that into a box plot. So now all of these N's turn into points according to their actual member number. And I had to use a log transformed x-axis, which jumps from 10 to 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Otherwise, all the points would be around here. Next, I want to analyze the prices. And here you see that there are a few that go all in and price their membership really high with $999. When I did the analysis 2 days ago, there were some other groups that then changed their prices to lower values. Some stopped disclosing the price, so this information can change from day to day. The next 4 that are currently above $900 can be seen here. I looked into this group, and it's someone who had a big YouTube masterclass already prepared and now uploaded it for a discount to Skool, where you then have the benefit of talking to other like-minded members about the course content, join Zoom calls. So that's how some of these creators justify the prices. Here are some other groups sorted by price. And as a way to visualize these 422 price points that we got from the communities that disclosed them, one thing we can do again is use summarize and then these specific functions to get the average and quantiles. We see that median is 47, so half of the communities are actually below $50 per month. Average is higher because, again, not a normal distribution. And I thought it's a good idea to categorize these price points into 7 different groups. And now we have an almost similar distribution within these price jumps. And with this code, you can turn it into a bar chart where you now see percentage-wise of the top 1,000 where we see the price. Around 12% are below $10, 2.5% are $500 to $1,000, and the highest frequency of prices is still below 50 in the $30 to $49 range, followed by $10 to $29. So if you have an engaging group with lots of members, then you can actually make a lot of money already with low prices. So now that we analyzed membership, counts, and price, I wanted to make a scatter plot to look into the correlation of these two variables or the pattern that we might see. And with the Plotly package, we can make this interactive using the ggplotly function. I also created a label that only gives me the community name, the member number, and the price with line breaks. So now we can hover over these 422 communities that provided a price point, and we have the membership numbers and the rank, agency owners, biggest community, followed by trading tribe. For $1 you can join, 27,400 members, currently ranked 70. On top here you have the $999 communities and the $997, ranked in the middle of the 1,000s, and the bottom here, still a group with 9 members and $7 price in the middle, ranked 544, so they must be quite engaging. Elite, 644 members, current entry price $445. And when we change the y-axis also to a log10 transformation, we now get a little bit more clarity on who's at this $100 price point and the $49 or the $50. So now the prices are spread out a bit better, looking more normal. And I will link to the file where you see the table and the chart so you can do your own explorations if you're curious. Moving on to languages. Based on the description of the community, I did some language detection. So out of the 1,000, 82.4% choose to do the description in English, followed by Spanish, 58. So that's 5.8%. And then German, French, and Vietnamese make it into the top 5. And I wanted to turn this into a bar chart, excluding English. So I was actually quite surprised to see some of these languages, but it's kind of cool to see that some of them made it into the top 1,000. That means that communities worldwide are using Skool platform, but having many of them in English also shows that it's the international language, and if you want to reach everyone, it's okay to do it in English. And lastly, I wanted to see what words appear in the community titles in the name. So I created a word cloud, and here are the top frequencies of different terms that appear in the name. For the word cloud, I only allowed words that appeared 4 or more times, and you can see that most of the communities are called academy, followed by community, and then it's often just a synonym for a group. So it could be a school, a club, a GRU, a gang, a tribe, a society, a circle, or an elite. But you also see that many terms are around sales, marketing, freedom. You have some fitness, income, health. Just pause the video and see what currently is the most engaging topic at Skool.com. It's a lot of coaching and growth. Doesn't mean that there are not other communities for painting, music, animal care, hiking. But in the current state of the platform, those are not in the top 1,000. The last thing with regards to the title or community name, I wanted to know how many use emojis or special characters. So I could filter for non-traditional characters to see how creative some titles are in the usage of emoticons. So almost 10% of them use these special characters. And when it comes to the description, you have up to 150 characters. And as you can see, most communities make use of that to some extent. So they have at least 100 characters in their description. And a quarter of them use almost all of the characters that they have available. I hope you liked this analysis. If you have questions to the code, ask in the comments, especially with regards to the web scraping. I can show you the script. I also started my own community on Skool regarding to data analysis with R, and I link to it in the description below. Until next time here at the Data Digest, or even on Skool in my community. Take care, bye-bye.